Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the Swac, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay? Look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
Telling you, them horns, boy. I'm trying to tell you, them horns be hit. They be on the next level. I'm telling you, I got the best theme song on YouTube. I keep telling you that, but I'm gonna keep saying it until I can't say it no more. All right, welcome back. It's your boy Scotty. You watching OFFScript, and you already know it's the round table today. It's the round table today. Now, this is gonna be. Listen, you know, I got my boy Blue in here. You know, I got my boy CFL. Spotlight, you know, he's in the military. He had duty, so he couldn't be with us today. But listen, he's here in spirit, all right? He's here in spirit. That's what we're doing. So before I bring out my boys, all right, I want to make sure, because I got bills to pay. They make the real money on YouTube. I got bills to pay, okay? So I gotta shout out people, all right? So listen, go cop the merch at itsoffscript.com, all right? That's dropped today, all right? That dropped today, all right? Everybody knows, if you heard the Malcolm call, yes, I have 4 kids. That helps me to feed my kids. Okay. All right, so that helps. Every little bit helps. Make sure you go to the OFFScript membership, do your thing. All right, sign up for that as well. All right, so listen, let's get this thing started. First up, CFL, what's good, my guy?
What's going on?
What's going on? You know, next up is the boy Wonder Blue. What's going on, boy Wonder? What's up, Blue?
Good, man?
All right, man. Listen, fellas. You know they've been waiting for this. You already know what week this is. It's Jackson State and Alabama A&O week. But before we get into that, listen, we're gonna do some quick recaps. All right, we're gonna do some quick recaps. We're gonna go back real quick on just our little thoughts on week 5, and then we're gonna go to some week 6 games. All right, so we're gonna talk about all the week 6 games that are happening this SWAC, the matchups and things like that. Quick thoughts on that. And then we gonna end it with the banger, the Jackson State Alabama A&M. All right, and we're gonna take calls at the end. All right, we're gonna take calls at the end because I don't want call in, break our train of thought. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do. So first up, guys, quick thoughts on week 5. Go. Either one of y'all.
All right, so quarterback play, right? Consistent quarterback play, right? Like, I'm impressed with how Rashawn McKay has played ever since that week 1 loss to Jackson State. He's progressed. However, people like Jawan Pass, like 1 week you throw for 100-something yards, the next week you go for 300. Which Jawan Pass are we gonna get? You know, like I just need to see more consistency from quarterback play in the SWAC.
Okay, what you got?
I would say, man, contenders and pretenders were exposed, man. I mean, you got A&M getting absolutely demolished by Grambling after playing arguably the worst game they've played in probably 2-3 years. And on top of that, Prairie View gets their 3rd SWAC win, establishes themselves as a true contender. And now you see that UAPB, they weren't ready to repeat in that division. I mean, they're just getting beat left and right. And so for me, I thought we got a lot of clarity on who's the real contenders and who are the pretenders in the SWAC.
For me, I'm a kind of ride that bandwagon with CFL. That the quarterback play for me. First of all, I am getting my understanding of the SWAC reality of anything can happen in the SWAC. Like for real, like the stuff you think is a guarantee, I can't even guarantee no more. You know, like the Charles Barkley button on when he be like, Gary. I can't do that. I can't even do that because the games that teams are supposed to win, they don't win. Games you think teams are going to be. I mean, Alabama State was just competitive with Bethune-Cookman. I mean, they get washed. I mean, legit washed by FAMU, making Rashawn McKay look like he's, you know, a serviceable quarterback. When we saw him against Jackson State, it looked like he didn't know what the quarterback was. So, like I said, I don't know, man. That's why I do my series as the SWAC turns. I don't know, man. It just something new every week. All right, let's get into these look ahead to week 6 games. First up, guys, on the match, you see in the back here, Grambling versus Alcorn. It's their homecoming. Grambling just mollywopped A&M. What you got on it, guys? Tell me quick thoughts.
I'm interested to see the progression of Noah Bowden. Very much interested. However, I think now that Alcorn State offense is clicking, now that you got CJ Bolar, Nico Duffy, now that you got Felix, I think when the boys get it going, it's just too much to stop. So I'm gonna go with Alcorn with this one.
Okay, what you got, Blue?
Man, you see, I'm interested of the same thing, but I'm interested to see Alcorn in that against that Grambling defense.
Please wait.
Are they going to be able to establish the run? Is Felix going to be able to have a performance like he did against UAPB in the second half? Or are we going to get first half MEAC SWAC challenge Felix, and that could cause a lot of problems for Alcorn? And that O-line, man, did they recruit O-linemen over the bye week or whatever? Because listen, that Prairie View defensive line is going to eat them alive if they didn't get some offensive linemen. And for me, like CFL said, Noah Bowden has to play outstanding. If he can continue that progression that we saw last week, I think this game could be one of those sneaky games where, like you said, as the SWAC turns, we could be sitting here on next week's and be like, man, can you believe Grambling's won 2 straight over Alcorn and Alabama A&M? And then what does that SWAC race in that division look like? So this one, I'm very, very torn on, but you know, this is not one that fit into my schedule, so I'll give you all my pick. I actually think Grambling pulls the upset here.
Ooh, I like it, Blue. I like it. Oh, man. Y'all both touched on big topics. For me, it's going to come down to Grambling's D-line and Alcorn's offensive line. Listen, when I tell you that boy number 74 should have stayed at home, I mean, that boy should have stayed at home. Like, I was just like, you couldn't block in a telephone booth. It was bad. And Grambling's D-line is legit. That boy 91's legit. The corners are legit. They're not scared. They, like you said, they just came off a big time win. If they can get pressure on Felix, it's going to be a different game. This is the key though. Noah Bowden doesn't have to be great. He just has to be no turnovers. Pretty much what you did until the end. That's all you really need. And I got to see a little bit more from this offense. I think they're going to run the ball a lot better because Alcorn's D line is not really that good. It's really light. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna make a pick on this one yet. I'm kind of scared because I just went 0-2. I just went 0-2 last week. So I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna come back to that one. I might do that one on Friday. All right. Next up, Valley versus Bethune. I'm gonna kick this one off. I am super excited for this game, right? Coach Vincent Dancy, you got a fan in me. I'm gonna pick this one. I'm going with Valley for the upset, baby. I listen. I believe it.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you with Valley.
I believe in Dancy and I believe in Caleb Johnson and Jelani Eason. My guy, he made me a liar. I told him he wasn't a quarterback. He did a last second drive, 19 seconds left in that game to win that game against North Central. I'm going with Valley. I and Vincent Dancy, I trust. Next, it's on y'all.
Man, I listen. This is like the who's going to be next to Texas Southern with nothing to like stand with at the end of the season. This is like the loser bowl. Like it's going to be so bad, man. But listen, personally, I think Valley right now is playing better than Bethune, which is something I don't think any of us three ever thought we would say coming into the season. But after watching Bethune get manhandled by Alabama State and then watching Alabama State get manhandled by FAMU, I'm just like, what are you doing? They gave you 12 yards rushing against Alabama State, and Mississippi Valley has a solid front seven. They got some boys on that D line that can play. So for me, I agree with y'all. I think Valley pulls this one out because right now I think Bethune's in a mess, and they got to fire everybody on Monday morning.
What you got, see?
Listen. First of all, I just feel so sorry for my boy Joshua Rice, man. I know it's hard. Lord knows. But with that being said, man, so Valley, I really like their running back, right? I think he's second in the SWAC in rushing yards. I think he's also second in attempts. He's very close to passing Gary Quarles. So I think because of what he's doing, I think that alone could be enough for them to put him past Bethune-Cookman, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it with this, guys. I never thought I'd be picking Valley to win any game this year, but gosh darn it, I'm excited to say, go Valley, go Delta, go Devils. All right, next up, I think if this one's like the loser bowl, this one has to be like the guacamole bowl. Like this game is, I don't know what to do with this game. Like UAPB. Like you would think they should win. They have the better quarterback. They have the better receiver core. I mean, they have the better secondary. I mean, like to me, it should not. UAPB should win this game running away. If I'm being honest, like once again, but in the SWAC, you never know. For my pick, will be UAPB, and I think they go with. I think Skylar Perry doesn't start this game. I think they go with the backup they went with on 15. He was hitting with Josh. Josh Wilkes needs to put some respect on Josh Wilkes' name. He's a burner. He's a burner. He needs more yards, more attempts. You put him on any other team in the SWAC, he probably is like the leading rusher in the SWAC, right? I mean, leading receiver in the SWAC right now. But my pick is UAPB. It's on y'all.
I'm gonna rock with UAPB as well. As far as Alabama State, that quarterback play was there. Another team whose quarterback play was just horrendous last week. Am I right? Because I didn't catch them. I caught the highlights. I caught the stats.
It was no highlights. It was no highlights. It was the low. It was a FAMU highlight tape. That's what it was. It was a FAMU highlight tape.
My point exactly. Like until they get that settled, I'm not picking them for nothing. So give me UAPB as well.
I mean, so I don't know what the over-under on points are, but what is the over-under on completions between both teams? Like 10 compared to like how they've been playing these past few weeks? I mean, Ryan Nettles completed 3 passes last week. He went 3 for 13. That is just absolutely atrocious, man. And then Skylar Perry is completing like 7% of his passes. You better run the ball. Whoever runs the ball better, in my opinion, has to win this game because you cannot complete a pass on either of these teams. But I am going to roll with UAPB because right now I think just us three, we don't even need 11 of us, can have a better offense than Alabama State right now.
Something is wrong with you. People don't understand how funny you be, Blue. I'm telling you. When you get upset, bro, it's so funny, bro. You be like, you start hitting Bengals with stats and like, oh, God, it's funny. And also, Alabama State did let their offensive coordinator go. So we all know that.
I saw that.
Yeah, so, whoo, dang, Blue, that was funny. I'm gonna have to clip that one. You should clip it. South Carolina State, FAMU. Listen, I'm geeked for this game. I'm really geeked for this game. I know it's MEX SWAC challenge type stuff, but I want to see the Kobe Durant. I want to see the quarterback for South Carolina State. I think he's a talent that FAMU has not gone against. Because when I tell you he gets loose, oh, that boy gets loose. He is mobile. Okay, like we're not talking about no Shador slowest slippery type mobility. We talking like, I do this, I run. You know what I'm saying? And he can throw the thing. So I'm excited to see this. FAMU's defense, though, man. I mean, God, dog, like that D line and what I'm not a Marquise Bell fan. I'm not. I say that, but his measurables are legit. I can't knock his measurables. I can't knock what he is. I can't knock his productivity. Reluctantly, I'm probably going to have to go with FAM on this one. I really want to go South Carolina State, but that FAMU defense has made me a believer. They're legit, bro. They're legit. Go ahead, Blue.
I'm also going with FAMU. I just think that defense is too good, and what I think they're going to do is try to keep it underneath and try to keep it away from Jacoby Durant. They're going to try to move Xavier into every single position, motion him, put him somewhere where Jacoby Durant is on the other side of the field, somewhere else, because that's the key to win. And I also really I don't think Terrell Jennings and Bishop Bonnet get enough credit on the run game for FAMU. I think they're going to be the X factor this weekend, and I actually think FAMU wins this game by 2 or more scores.
I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit. I got State. I got the home team, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah. That's you. Let me double bomb, Mr. Carolina.
So, Corey Fields can give you 300 yards passing on any given Saturday, right? His problem is his decision making. So if he can keep the decision making down, if he can find Shaq Davis, who's 6'4", 6'5", absolute matchup nightmare. If you can find Shaq Davis early enough and limit those turnovers, yeah, you could keep the ball away from Jacoby Durant, but you do have BJ Davis on the other side as well, who will be next in line when Jacoby leaves. So I think I'm gonna go with South Carolina State for this one.
Boy, they about to kick you out the state if you ain't go with your boys. Boy, don't play, don't act like they have a shotgun behind you. Like, but you better say South Carolina. Better be right. All right, you already know what it is. Game of the week. All right, so I'm giving everybody, the fans, listen, there are no predictions given. All right, we all have our own channels. We all do our own. There's no predictions going to be given. We're simply going to talk the game. All right, break down the game in different facets and what we believe and what we see, but there will be no predictions, no scores given today. All right, so check each of our individual channels. They're all in the link in the description below. I put them down there. So Fridays or Thursday. When you dropping yours, Blue?
Friday.
When you dropping yours, C?
I think I'm gonna drop mine tomorrow.
Oh, damn. Okay.
He said Wednesday. He said 3 business days.
And I'm dropping mine on Friday as well, Blue. So that's what you see. All right. So first up, did the loss help or hurt A&M going to this game? And neither one of you guys can start it up.
I don't think it hurt them, simply because I really just believe that A&M had a bad game. I really do. I think they'll bounce back. With that being said, right, this game we was all looking forward to this game after the spring because of the comments Coach Maynard made, because of how it turned out, because of the Akil Glass going to A&M and all that good stuff. But that loss, I equated to, I don't know if y'all watch boxing, right? But Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Everybody wanted to see that. Mm-hmm. And then what happened to Anthony Joshua? He lost right before. You see what I'm saying? So now it kind of takes away from the game a little bit, but I don't think it does that too much. I feel like, this is still a fun game to watch. That the loss doesn't really hurt A&M that bad, but I mean, because you still got the NFL scouts looking at this game for all the talent that's there. So it doesn't hurt A&M. I just think they had a bad game, and we'll see what happens.
But you got
I agree. I think it's helped. I was actually talking to someone in the A&M program like yesterday, and they said that it was pretty much a kick in the ass, and it was a wake up call for everybody. And they were like, the goal is not to make it Grambling ×2 this weekend. That's like the whole motto in the building is avoid having Grambling back to back. And let's just keep it honest, guys. How likely is it that Akil Glass plays that bad 2 weeks in a row?
No,
I mean, realistically, I mean, it's like -7% because he's never even thrown 4 picks in a game before, and so you think he's gonna throw that many back to back? I think what Jackson State's going to have happen is they're going to get A&M's best game, the best game that we've seen A&M play this year. I think they're coming out firing on Saturday, and I really think the loss helped them because what it did is show that we're really not as good as we thought we were, and we have to go out and practice and perform, and hopefully it woke the defense up a little bit just because they were like, man, is this what we do to the offense week in and week out? Mm-hmm. And so for me, I think it's going to really, really help them.
My coach says you learn more from a loss than from a win. Because when you win, all you do is you read your press clippings. I'm so good. I'm so this. I'm so that. With a loss, you kind of sit back and you have to reflect on what didn't I do well? What could I have done better? And what is lacking in me personally and in the team? And I really think when a lot of people say they got exposed, no, I just think they got lackadaisical. Like they didn't come out sharp. They got lackadaisical because when you're so used to doing a certain way, when you're so used to winning a certain way, and think about it. They were one drive away from actually winning the game. Like with all the turnovers, they had a chance at the end to still go back. Now, if they do that, the last drive, come on, man. If they do that last drive, they're all here like, they're still going to be feeling like we can score whenever we need. And that's not the mindset you need going into a game like Jackson State, because they're going to give you your best, so you need to be on your best. I think it helped because I reached out to a kill. I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. I reached out to a kill. I was like, yo, man, listen, you didn't play too good. He's like, yeah, I play like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just real. You know what I'm saying? That's him being real with himself. That's him being real with me. So I think everybody, and I've seen Twitter from Juice and all them boys is locked in. I've even heard from an insider that goes to the practice. He said they locked in. And I bet the same thing's on Jackson State side. So I think make that game. I need them. I want them both be at their best. I don't care about who's better. I want you both to be at your best, because I want to see who comes out on top of this. But at the end of the day, to answer your question, yeah. Because I was kind of mad that Kill made me a liar. I mean, he didn't even get 30, bro. Like that. I mean, like win or lose, I don't care. I made a bet to say somebody they were going to get 30, didn't get 30, so I had to reach out. I was like, bro, what you making me lose my money, bro? Like, come on, man. I put money on you. All right, next one up. How important is the other DBs not named Nugget?
Very, very, because Alabama A&M receiving core is loaded, so they have to be important. Not even Kevrick Wiggins, Randall Haney, you playing in the SEC. I got confidence in you because you have that experience. Who else? Al Young. I have experience. I have faith in you as well. Kevrick Wiggins, John Huggins. Let me say this. It is so easy. It is so obvious that they need to pick on Shiloh, right? Because he's horrible in pass coverage. John Huggins, maybe he does need to be in that spot. Maybe he needs to replace Shiloh for this game just because he's a better cover. Like I just feel like it's important. I'm losing my words.
You're good.
Yeah. The rest of those DBs, right? This is the biggest test in their career so far, probably other than Randall Haney, all right? Because D. Anderson, we know what he can do, okay? We know where he came from, the coach that he learned up under, who put Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson first round, all right? We know Abdul is completely consistent. And honestly, I never really watched Abdul, but after he catches the ball, he's like Deebo Samuel trying to get those rack yards. So he's dangerous. We know what Juice does. Okay, we know the fires that he brings to that offense. Nobody even talks about Zabrion because of those other three guys. So yes, those other DBs for Jackson State, not named Nugget, they're very important, and they're going to get tested more than Nugget, in my opinion. So I hope they're ready. I really are.
What you got, bro?
Yeah, I mean, especially with it's so important because especially the narrative that they have 6-7 guys that can play man-on-man against anyone in the country. That's been the narrative all year, is that Jackson State can match personnel with every team, especially in the SWAC, and that you're not going to have the athletes to go make plays out in space. Well, we're going to find out this weekend. If they can shut down the passing game, then guess what? They got that right now. But we're going to find out whether they can man-for-man hang with that type of athletes that Alabama A&M has on the outside. D. Anderson is a matchup nightmare at 6'6". Let me tell you, Brandon, my guy is an LSU fan. D. Anderson was someone he did not want to lose coming into this year. And now if you watch LSU football, they're really missing D. Anderson right now because outside of Keyshawn Boutte, they ain't got nobody. But they have to be able to play man versus man. They have to be able to communicate in the back end too, because like you said, Scotty, they're going to be running a lot of emotions, a lot of complex routes. I think pick routes are going to be the number one thing. Make the safeties in the middle of the field communicate. Make the linebackers communicate. Because if you can put the linebackers of Jackson State into coverage, you're winning.
Yeah.
Go ahead. If you get Juice in the slot and he gets matched up on Hampton or one of those linebackers, I'm taking that matchup all day, every day. And I don't think the outside guys I don't think the outside guys are going to have a big day for Alabama A&M. They're going to make their money deep over the middle with the safeties and when they can get matched up on a linebacker. And all this idea that they're going to blitz them to death, go ahead, because you know what that creates? Matchup nightmares, and they're just going to run quick outs on you, and you're not going to be able to stop it. Because when you go 5 wide, those linebackers are going to have to go out into coverage. It's just a fact. If you watch any type of football, that's what you do. quick passes are going to be the number one thing for Alabama A&M this weekend, but other DBs have to step up. Holmes especially. I think I was the one telling you guys he got targeted like 18 times in one game or something like that. Like, dude, you better step up, because if they throw at you 18 times, I don't have faith that you're going to stop them 18 times.
Yeah, and that's not, and we're not talking about Rodriguez throwing the ball. Can we say that? We're not talking about Rodriguez throwing the ball to you. You know what I'm saying? So this is my thing when it comes to the DBs, right? And I've said this on numerous times and previous stations. It's like this is how it works. When you're matching up and when you're going into a game and you're trying to break it offensively, it starts with your quarterback. Can my quarterback make the throws? Right? Okay, I got the quarterback that can make the throws. Can my receivers make plays? And that's all Alabama A&M receivers do. They make plays. When you're asked, and we've all played football, when you ask players who don't normally make plays to make a play in big moments, they shrink. And I'm not saying that's the Jackson State DBs. What I'm saying is Alabama A&M's offense and the receivers have been here. They've been here. Listen, we've gone against people and we've had to make plays. Juice will get 10 targets. Hilaire gets 6 targets. Zaya gets 6 targets. Abdul get 10. Like, they're used to getting the ball. So you can't really just eye in on one key guy, because they all can make plays. They all can be very valuable to the scheme and system. That's why I think it's going to be very tough on these DBs, is because you can't take a play off. You can't take a play off. That's the whole key. When you're going against ULM, we all knew who they had to stop, Boogie Nights. But by the time the halftime was, if you stop Boogie Nights, this game is over. You know what I'm saying? So that's not Alabama A&M. You got to stop there. Go ahead, see.
Their mindset, because here's the thing, playing not much man coverage, because you're so confident playing man coverage, somebody is going to make a play on you at some point in the game. When that happens, how is your mindset? How is your mindset? If D. Anderson makes a big catch on you, how are you going to respond the next play? And I think that mindset for the rest of the DBs that's not named Nugget, that's also going to be important as well, because y'all really haven't been tested like that. You know, like you haven't really been embarrassed or battle tested like that by former DBs of other opponents. I mean, receivers of other opponents. So when somebody makes a big catch on you at a pivotal time, you know, how are you going to respond the very next play?
And I don't think there's going to be as much 5 wide as people are thinking either. I don't think Maynard is just going to throw all his eggs in one basket. I really think you're going to see a lot of bunch stuff and a lot of chipping and a lot of underneath stuff. Like, he's not going to try to keep running deep posts that are going to take 4 or 5 seconds to develop and make a kill stand in the pocket while they're coming after him with their hair on fire. He's going to go underneath where it's just dump off. And what Maynard is going to do, in my opinion, is say, my athletes at wide receiver are better than your athletes at cornerback, your athletes at linebacker, and that's where we're going to make the money. I don't think they're going to run 5 wide all game like a lot of people do. They'll do it at times to keep them off balance, but I expect to see a lot of bunch formations, 3-4 wide receivers, running back in there, a chipping tight end, and they're just going to run underneath quick passes. And that way you can, 1, get off the blitz, and 2, you're at as good as a kill is, all it's going to be is this matchup comes down to, can Alabama's wide receivers make plays against Jackson State CBs? The only way you do that is to get the ball in their hands in open space, screens, tunnels, like tunnel screens, drag routes, over the middle stuff. That's where they're going to make their money. This whole debate about 5 wide, I think, it's gotten out of hand because the comment section loves being like, Jackson State's 5 can cover Alabama A&M's 5. Well, that's not. I think Maynard has a better plan than just to be like, we're just going to see what happens when we go 5 wide and just run 4 verts all game. We're going to get the ball. Like, if Akil holds the ball for 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's going to be a problem. Get the ball out of his hands quickly. That's going to be the key.
I like where you're going with this, Blue, because I said it last night. I think if it was me, I'm doing twins tight formations, bunch formations, and I'm doing a lot of motion. I mean, I'm doing so much motion, it's going to blow your mind, because you got to declare. Because when you shorten the formation up, to me, it actually benefits Jackson State. That's why I would like to spread it out and come in, spread it out. Because if you keep it bunched and you have a lot of stuff coming at you, you know, if you have a bunch formation and things are like, I want to see a lot of mesh routes. I think if A&M does a lot of mesh routes, I think those rub routes across the middle, like that Eagle, like when what's the dude from the Eagles? The one that won the Super Bowl. Peterson or
Chris Peterson.
Yeah. When that's one of his formulas in opening routes. I think if you do a lot of mesh routes, cross routes in the middle, I think you're gonna benefit a lot of that, because with Jackson State blitz in the middle, they leave the middle open. Crossing routes will help. Listen, Alabama has to be okay with a 4-yard completion. A 4-yard completion is a win. You know, like, you can't think that everything's going to be a big play, and you're used to the big play style. That's how they get you with the 30-yard, run and catch. No. Listen, let's take this 4-yard completion. Let's keep our happy ass moving. You just got to keep it like that. Just keep it steady. It's better than a run. It's pretty much a run. All right, 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here, 2 yards. You just got to take positive. You can listen. Getting behind the chains on Jackson State is not what you want. That is not what. 3rd and 9. Third and 12, that is not what you want in this game, because they're going to tear you apart.
Do we have the patience for that, though?
What's up?
Does Alabama A&M's offense have the patience for that? For a 4-yard game? Because we know their personality. They're flashy. That's Coach Maynard's personality. He's flashy. Do you have the patience to consistently go all game with 4-yard gains and just chip away?
If you really watch Akil, his style of play is that he is what you guys call Shedeur as Tom Brady. He is actually the quintessential version of Tom Brady. His game is not 10 to 15, 20. You will rarely see him throw a 20 or 30-yard bomb unless it's wide open or it's a concept route that is schemed to come open. Other than that, it's 10 and below. It's I say about 12, 15 and below. That's where Akil makes his money. It's just the accuracy, the pinpointness, and then Abdul, Hilaire, Zay, their ability after Juice, their ability after the catch. That's what makes them flashy. That's what makes them big. But if we're being honest, they really play 15 and down. They're not a big play offense where they're just gonna bomb you over the head and keep it like Skylar Perry. You know how he loves to throw it over your head. Nah, that's not Akil. That's not his game. His game is 15 and down. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking about the digs, the ends, the short corners, the skinny posts. Like, and even Akil said when I interviewed him, he said, I don't have the biggest arm. He said, my anticipation is really good. So if I see, the rule is if I'm even, as a receiver, if I'm even, I'm leaving, right? That is with everybody but Nugget, because he can outrun you. You know what I'm saying? So anybody else, you have to take that shot. Like, I don't care if it's D, you have to take that shot just to keep him honest. But go ahead, Blue. I know you want to say something.
And listen, the recipe isn't that. If Maynard comes in cocky and he's just trying to throw it around the yard deep, they're going to get destroyed. Mm-hmm. That's not the recipe to beat Jackson State, is to try to go deep all game long. They're going to have to be okay with just dumping down underneath and letting plays happen naturally. The few drives FAMU put together, that's what they did very well, is they just took what the defense gave them and just slowly kind of got themselves down the field. If you try to sit back there in the pocket and make a kill, just throw 20, 30 yards down the field, Jackson State's winning by like 50. They Easy. Can't do that. Yeah. And the whole passing game, yes, the DB versus wide receiver is a huge matchup. Last week showed if Akil has to throw 50, 60 times a game, they're not going to compete at all. They're going to have to be balanced on offense. And Gary Quarles in the passing game is going to be huge. In terms of getting matchups and being dumped down. But also, you don't want to go deep because, one, throwing deep all the time stops the clock. Going deep all the time puts you in turnover trouble, and you don't trust your defense. The way you scheme an offense to keep your bad defense off the field is to slowly get 3, 4, 5, 6 yards here or there. Let that clock run. The key for Alabama A&M is to win the time of possession battle, in my opinion. So that's the only reason why I don't think they can just sit there and play, backyard football and just throw it around the field.
That's facts. All right. Next question. Maynard or Prom? Who would you want in this big game coaching you?
Come on now. Maynard. I'm going to go with Maynard for right now.
Why?
he's been coaching for more than a year in a spring season. That's why. That's why. You know, and that's no disrespect to Prime, because I love Jackson State, but let's be real about this.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Maynard is an offensive mastermind, right? We know this. He's been coaching for a lot longer than Coach Prime has at the collegiate level. That's just a no-brainer at that point. You got to choose Maynard.
What about you, Blue?
Yeah, it's Maynard. I mean, listen, what Dion has made 10 games of experience right now, something like that, or nine or 8, something like that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, when you have less than 15 games of coaching experience, how do you pick Prime in this situation over a coach who has went and won at the D2 level of Winston-Salem, went and won a SWAC championship already? This is just absolutely an easy pick. Maynard has more experience. He's been in the big games. It's Maynard by 1,000 right now until Coach Prime does something, in the SWAC.
Yeah, it's Maynard for me as well. The biggest thing though is how important is coaching in this game though? Because if you got the dogs, I just walk up and play. Yeah, like you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like adjustments are always part of the game. We've all watched enough football to know adjustments is a part of the game. But what I watched from Grambling, you ain't make no adjustments. You didn't make no adjustments. You're supposed to be this big time coach. I'm watching the game. I'm like, how are you not running the ball? Akil is getting murdered. Like, I mean, he's doing a 2-step drop in shotgun, and the guy is right in his face. Like, come on, what are we doing? Like, what are screens? I'm like, so you're supposed to be this offensive-minded guru. I'm like, where's the adjustments at? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that Maynard. I'm still picking Maynard, but come on, bro. Like, if you get out coached by a guy with 10 games, that's a problem with me. That's a problem. It's a problem. So, because sometimes what happens is, what happens is you think you're too smart, and I hate that about offensive coordinators. The white boy from Grambling almost did that. All right, with the pick, you try to get too cute. You think you're smarter than everybody. You're not. Okay, so my thing is, I want to see some adjustments. I want to see some great offensive play calling, and I want to see how everybody moves accordingly, because that's just how it is, and that's how it goes. Anybody else got some on this topic?
Yeah, and about that, you see this with coaches who have very talented teams. You saw it at, I believe it was the Auburn LSU game with LSU in 2019. You saw it with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. When you have those type of athletes on your team, you just think, okay, he threw his interception, he made his mistake there. Let's just keep doing what we're doing, because there's no way he's going to make that mistake again. And so what you do is you're looking at it from like a macro view of, look at what Akil's done his whole career. Look at what Juice has done. Look at what, what's his, I'm blanking on his name right now, but look at what all the wide receivers have done. And Abdul, and you're not looking at the micro version of that game. That game he just wasn't on, so you have to adjust, run the ball. They got away from the run, and they're like, listen, we can throw on anybody, which means after Akil threw his third interception, he's like, no way he throws a fourth interception. Let's just keep airing it out, and let's stick with our game plan. So I thought his team was too good to fall to those mistakes repeatedly, and you see it all the time with coaches who have a lot of talent where, sometimes for the Chiefs, it's like, well, damn, man, we got Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. If it's not working, let's just try it one more time, because we've seen it work so many times that it has to eventually work.
That's real. And I'm gonna say this, and because I got caught up in the moment too, right? Because the whole time I'm watching the game, I'm like, they're gonna self-correct. They're gonna self-correct, because you're a fifth year senior, like, and you've been doing this for the last 3 years, you're going to self-correct. Like, that's it. In my head, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, he going to self-correct. Like, you got to know what especially at halftime. I'm like, oh yeah, they definitely go. Oh man. I thought I was in the coaching staff. I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to come back. It's too easy. And then they come out doing the same exact stuff. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? So no, I definitely agree with you. Moving on. What do you need to see from Jackson State's offense? Because we all know how inept it has been. Nobody wants to really talk about that. Everybody acts like they're Alabama A&M or they're Delta State putting up 40 points a game, you know what I'm saying? Or Prairie View, you know what I'm saying? So CFL, please lead us in the benediction of Jackson State's offense.
All right, so look, it's the same thing every week that I be saying with Jackson State. All right, I need the offensive coordinator to trust the weapons that he has at receiver and take some shots, throw the ball up. You got Shane Hooks, who's 6'4". You got Keith Corbin. You got Joshua Lanier. There should be no reason why all you do is dink and dunk all game. More importantly, I need to see Peyton Pickett get going. I want him to get going so bad, just because I saw what he was able to do at Liberty, sharing the ball with Malik Willis, and I need to see Santee Marshall get going as well. And you know what? If they don't get it going against this defense, JD Martin really needs to get some carries. JD Martin needs to get in there. He needs to get some carries. So yeah, I need to see the running game get going. I need to see 100 yards from one of them. Okay, I need to stop seeing so much runs up the middle. Okay, because all you do is give Peyton the ball up the middle. He don't even try to make a cut. He don't attempt to make a cut. He just run up the middle and get what he can get, and that's just about it for me. Like, it's the same stuff every week.
I'm going to go with the offensive line. An average fan can't name one defensive lineman on Alabama A&M's team who can get pressure consistently. Like, they do not have a single pass rusher on that Alabama A&M defense. If you can't stop this defensive line, it is going to be a hellacious end of the season against Southern and some of these teams that you have coming in with much better defensive lines. The offensive line has to dominate. And everyone's like, but you can't put unnecessary expectations. You have to win this. Like, there is zero excuse for Jackson State to lose the line of scrimmage battle on either side of the football. You have to win that on the offensive line. All those transfers you got, all that experience now, all that chemistry thing I talked about a few weeks ago, that's done. You've played together now. You got games under your belt. You had a bye week to prepare. If you don't dominate the line of scrimmage, you're going to be in for a long day. And like CFL and everyone else said, you just got to establish the run game. Bethune was able to run on them. South Carolina State was able to run on them. Grambling was able to run on them at times. You have to run the football and take some of this pressure off of Shedeur Sanders, because Delta State ate you alive at the line of scrimmage. And so this is the game where we're going to find out if Jackson State's offensive line is for real or they were just sleepwalking, because personally, this offensive line has to step up this weekend. They have to. It's embarrassing at this point.
And you know what? One more thing, right? Tuskegee offense is ranked number 9 in their division at the Division II level, and they put up 30-something points. So if y'all come out here and y'all can't score, maybe we need to blow this offense up a little bit. Maybe we do. Maybe y'all not the guys we thought you were, and maybe we need to blow us up, because other than that game, y'all, Tuskegee, their highest point margin was 23 points. That was the highest they scored all season, other than Alabama A&M. So if they were able to put up 30 points against y'all, 30-something points against y'all, there's no excuse for why y'all can't do it as well. There's no excuse. Tuskegee's only win is at Edward Waters. You see what I'm saying? So how bad does this make you look if you can't put up points? Like, how bad does this make you look? So now, if they don't get it going, blow the offense up.
They got to score 35 minimum, in my opinion. If you don't score 35 on this defense, man, what happened? Well, especially off of a bye week, and you've been talking about all these offensive changes. Oh man, you better put 35 up. I don't want to hear it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got how many people we got? We got about 239 people on here. They're not gonna like this take. My floor is Quincy Casey's game against Alabama A&M. That's my floor. If your stats don't line up with Quincy Casey's, if your running game does not line up with, because let's be honest, and people could be like, and they can go ham. I don't give a damn. That is my floor, because Quincy Casey did it with a worse offensive line. That's what we were told. He did it with worse talent. That's what I was told. He didn't have a good running back. That's what I was told. And he didn't have a good defense that he had to protect him. That's why it was a shootout. That's what I was told. He put up 43 points. He put up 43 points in a shootout and went toe-to-toe with Akil Glass. So your floor is, let me get Quincy Casey stats. 30 for 47, 323 yards and 4 touchdowns. That is your floor. If you can't match that, what we talking about? Because you have the better supposedly a better O-line, a better D-line, a better defense. Can we all agree? Y'all all been watching. Is the defense from now better than the spring? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Is the offensive talent at receiver? Is the offensive talent at receiver better from in the spring? Yes or no?
Yeah.
So your floor is 43 points. If you can't put up 43 points against, I'm dead ass. Like, what we talking about?
That's a lot of points, bro. For a team averaging 19 points a game, that's a lot of points.
From what I was told, okay, not equates to blowout. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So that's my floor, and I'm sticking to it. And if anything less than 43 points, we got a problem. All right, I'll take your 35. I'll see your 35. I'll stay at your 35. I won't go 43.
I mean, you got like over 30. Over 30 is a great game. They've only scored over 30 once, and that was on Tennessee State. Which, by the way, I do want to say this: that's looking real good right now after that win last weekend over Austin Peay, who is the favorite in the OVC. Tennessee State, that win for Jackson State right now looks like arguably one of their best wins, along with that FAMU win. I just want to say that is huge. But for me, they just have to be efficient, man. They haven't been efficient on offense all year. And that's the one thing I want to see. This is your best chance to show all that offense talent. I mean, when I ask you guys, who has the advantage right now in terms of the line of scrimmage? As bad as Jackson State's O-line is, you have to say Jackson State.
Yeah, because Alabama A&M's D-line is garbage.
Exactly. And if running backs versus linebackers, I'm still taking the running backs for Jackson State just based on what they've done already, because I think they are better than what they've shown. And then God forbid you extend it out to wide receivers versus DBs. Jackson State wins that by a mile in terms of outside of Troutman. Outside of Troutman, who do you trust to shut down a single Jackson State wide receiver?
Nobody.
Literally, let some boys off the leash.
That's what I'm saying.
So how is 49? So explain to me if you just did that breakdown and everybody here, I just want to win. I just want all these Jackson State fans in the comments. I just want to win. I don't care. How is 40 not supposed to be put up? And if we're being real, let's be real. Let's be real. I'll be real. If you have a better defense, CFL, are you not getting more opportunities because you're getting more stops? Correct.
Of course, yeah.
So how are you not able to put up 40 if you're supposed to have this doomsday defense with this new and approved offense? Help me. Listen, I'm not the smartest tool in the box. I'm not, but it just doesn't make sense to me how everything could be better and you get worse.
Ain't no excuses for me. I need at least 35. I need it. I need to see it from that offense, man.
I thought I was going to get 30 in the Delta State game. I couldn't even get that.
Like, for real.
The only thing I can't ride with you on is the Quincy Casey stats versus Shedeur, because in my opinion, I don't think he should have to throw that much, because they should take a lead early and just absolutely pound them to death on the offensive side of the ball.
Hold up, let me throw the carrying stats for you, Blue. 150 yards by Santee Marshall and 1 touchdown. He had a 6.6 yard average. So that's a total of 470 yards put up against Alabama A&M. That's 150 rushing and that's 300 by passing. Listen, any Jackson State fan would love a game like that from Shedeur. They would praise him and worship him like the next second coming of Justin Fields or something like that. So my thing is this: that's the floor. Even if you give me 200 yards, I still need. Shedeur should have no less. If he's supposed to be this, and this is what kills me, right? This is what kills me, because you can't tell me he's a 4-star this, 4-star that. Then they throw me he's a freshman. Okay, he's a freshman. You started more games than Quincy Casey. You've started more games than Quincy. You have played in more games than Quincy Casey at this point in time. So what are we talking about? And you're supposed to be the better guy. Oh, I'm not. No, I can't. Can't rock with it. Can't rock with it. All right, but next question. Ain't nobody gonna like that take, but that's just whatever. All right, Akil or Shedeur? Who do you want? Not trust. Who do you want in a big game? Now, okay, let's be honest. Because it's a little finicky here because it all depends on what kind of team you have. I understand that because that's the first way you're going to go with. You're like, depends on what kind of team I have. If I have a great defense, then I can take either one. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, if we're being honest, we can take either one. But everything being even, right? Which technically it can't. I know he's a senior. I know he's a freshman. I get all that. All right. But big game situation, who do you want in the big game?
I'm gonna take a kill. It's just that simple. This guy is the most pro ready right now, being that he's 1 year away, less than a year away. This is a guy who isn't afraid to. Yes, he does. He will put the ball in harm's way, but that's because he takes more shots, and you can't win the game playing it safe all the time. So I honestly, I'm gonna go with a kill Glass, man. Like he's been there, he's done that. This is a guy with NFL talent. He makes some pretty throws. And honestly, what I love most about a kill is the fact that you could really lay the wood to him, and he gonna stand in that pocket and make that throw every single time. He is not rattled by that. Give me a kill. Not saying that Shedeur got a problem with that too, but give me a kill.
Yeah, I mean, personally, it's the same argument we have with the coaching debate too. I mean, you got to look at the experience. Akil has been in these types of games. Akil's done it on the biggest stage. You have to go Akil, even though the one argument I will make for Shedeur is he's better right now under pressure. He's more composed in the pocket, and I don't think anyone can argue that he's more composed in the pocket. But personally, you got to go with the Akil just based on experience. And I mean, he was ranked the number 2 at like HBCU player in terms of draft eligible players in the Swac right now. He's like number 2 right behind Marquise Bell. So for me, you have to go Akil here.
I actually go with Shedeur. And Blue, you said the reason why. I'm being dead ass. And I'm not trying to be funny. I would take Shedeur. No, I'm really not being funny. No, I'm dead ass. Like, I'll take Shedeur because of the fact of what you just said. Listen, I've made a living calling Shedeur the slipperiest slow dude I've ever seen in my life. He is Houdini in the pocket, like for real. He's Houdini. Akil is not Houdini. He has bricks for feet. Like, if you don't protect him, it's a sack, like off the rip. I need somebody that can extend the play. Akil is not that guy. Now, he's done it, but not at a high level. I love Shedeur, his pocket presence, his poise. I love it. The only issue to me is I feel like he's very predetermined. Like, I think his IQ is not too good, but it's good, but he locks in really quickly. If you notice his reads, like if he sees cover 2, he already knows where he's going. You know what I'm saying? If he sees man, he already knows where he just locks in too fast for me. He doesn't really go through his progressions. Now, when he gets out the pocket, he'll murder you because people get open. He'll hit it. But if we're talking about pocket presence, like I need somebody who's going to extend the play for me just a tad bit longer to get my receivers open. I would take Shedeur. I'm not even going to play. And he doesn't turn the ball over very often. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? And if we're being honest, their arms are not, I mean, Shadeur's arm might be a little bit better than Akil, so the arm talent isn't different. You're not saying like Shedeur is Patrick Mahomes and Akil is Trent Dilfer. You know what I'm saying? So it's the level of arm talent isn't that big a difference. So you're really it's really a preference. And if you're really going with Akil, it's because of his track record. But I love Shadeur's pocket. Man, listen, I'll be like, who you got? What? I'll be like, how did you miss him? So I gotta give credit where credit is due. His pocket presence is real. It's real, and I love it. I love watching him do what he does. Anybody else got anything?
No, I mean, listen, he don't have to do anything special either. I don't even know how he makes some of those guys miss. Like he takes like a quarter of a step to the right, and like the defensive end just like completely whiffs, and it's like he didn't even juke you for real. Like it's like he teleported just out the way. Like you got to give him credit, man. Shedeur, his pocket presence is going to make him special.